Well, Hatchet number 2.
Fuck yeah. So glad we're finally talking about it.
Yeah, this threw me for a loop at the start.
See, and it's funny, like that was, of course I read the notes before I watched it again, and it just made me laugh because you haven't seen all of them, right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm waiting until we'll go to review them because I like to do that. I want to kind of go, oh, right, okay.
So spoiler, that's not a spoiler because this movie's
You're going to say Victor comes back?
Yeah, spoiler, the ghost comes back. No, so the thing is with the first 3 movies, they're meant to be played back to back as one solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that this movie begins literally at the end of Hatchet 1, and then, spoiler, Hatchet 3 starts right at the end of Hatchet 2. That's why they did it that way. And
right.
So going over your notes,
which I'm fine with, however.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's my argument to that, because yours was, they shouldn't have done the continuation scene because of the new character. And it's like, I feel like that's actually the smartest way to do it, because the original actress would not come back. And if I remember correctly, Danielle Harris was originally the first pick, but because of scheduling conflicts, she wasn't able to be in the first one. So she came back as Mary Beth. But it was smart to do it that way, because immediately you don't have to explain who she is. Like if they had to ultimately like reintroduce the character, but be like, oh no, this person now is playing this, I think that would have eaten up too much time out of the movie. Whereas with this, because it starts with her on the fucking boat and Victor there and all that shit, you know immediately who it is, you accept who it is, and you just move on.
Yeah, I had to pause and go and look. I'm like, no, that's not the same actress. And that's
no.
The funny thing is, it's been, me with actors, I don't normally care.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while since last time I watched it was when we reviewed it, Hatchet 1. But I just still remembered. It just struck me. Like, that's not her. And I had to go and pause and go and look up IMDb and like, all right, they changed the actress, right? And then they changed his makeup slightly.
Yeah. I mean,
they brought it back to the original halfway through the movie, but that makeup for that scene is different.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, any single horror movie franchise, like every single movie, the makeup is going to be different. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. With this one, they had a little bit more budget for the makeup, so they, put the time into it. Because the first one, if I remember correctly, it was pretty much just foam latex. So it was thick, heavy, awkward, and like if you didn't dump a shit ton of KY on it, it looked weird. Whereas this, they started to, progress a little bit further with the makeup.
Yeah. I just had a funny feeling that should have maybe used the old style for that scene and then threw it in the bin. Because not like it's replaceable. Once it's on and comes off at the end of the day, it's done. So maybe kept the same makeup, because it was just, to me, it was a bit of a shock with that scene, continuing with two glaring things different. Plus the camera works different here.
I mean, it's the same.
Maybe it's because I watched the first one obviously on DVD, and this is streamed. Maybe that might be something to do with it.
You watched this streamed?
Yeah, I can't get my hands on it.
Oh my god! We watched 2 completely different movies then.
No, not regular streaming.
Oh, gotcha. Well, even then, I don't know, man, because there's different versions of this movie, and unless it's a proper swashbuckler, there's a very big possibility we watched 2 different movies.
All right, well, that's going to be interesting then.
Yeah. So I guess skipping
I still
ahead.
had fun.
Well,
like
this is the tell.
It just shocked me, and it just goes to show. Let's put it like this: it shows how much the first one resonated with me. That I took in details and still remembered them. That I didn't gloss over the fact that that's a different. It didn't like take me 10 minutes. It's like from the first time, shit, this is different. That's not Mary. That's not the Mary Beth I know, and I'm just like, the fact that I still remember her.
Yeah. So I do have a quick question for you then. This is essentially to determine which movie you watched. When Victor does the kill with the hatchet where he flips it and he just starts bashing the dude in the face with it versus
like sideways.
How many times did the dude get hit in the face? Was it more than 5 times?
Yeah, it was low. Like proper went on him.
Okay.
That's the same.
Okay, good. So that's the thing. Like there's other smaller issues with the censored version, which is usually what's on streaming, but that's the biggest one because originally in that scene, he hits him in the face. I think it's like 36 times because it
Well, this
goes
is
from being brutal.
There's no sanitization.
What's that?
There's no sanitization. Like Mary Beth at the end, like going to town. And
see that wasn't a big deal, but the dude getting hit in the face when the MPAA was throwing a fit over it, like that was too fucking much. And it's like the thing is, you cut it at 5 hits. That's brutal. You go further, and it becomes funny because it's like that's just excessive.
It's cartoon violence.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so yeah, never mind. Back on with the review.
Yeah, but like I said, it was just the shock of just knowing immediately that it wasn't. This is different. I don't, I forgave it. It's not like it was a hang up. It was just the fact that I noticed. I was impressed with myself, like so quickly, and yet it's cool that this showed her getting away. How she got away. It makes sense. So it's like, the old thumb in the eye and everything else. It was like, yep, she not messing about. Yeah. And then we meet what's his face? Jack Cracker.
Yeah, we get to see Jack Cracker again.
She's trying to get help.
Yeah, and that's the wrong person to go see. He's gonna hand you a fucking urinal full of piss and tell you this is good for you.
I thought it was moonshine, but is he?
Nope, that is piss.
But then I saw all the Fallout stuff, and I'm like, hold on, man, this is a wooden shack with slots. What are you doing?
Well, see, here's the thing. Jack Cracker is fucking insane.
I kind of got that impression.
So it makes sense. Like,
sorry, I'm just thinking logically. If you're going to be a survivalist, like, maybe,
see, in his case, it's just pure coincidence that he's not dead. I really think that's all it is. He's equally one of the luckiest people in the world, and a couple minutes in, we find out also one of the least lucky people in the world.
He rolled the dice far too long, and it was just going to come up snake eyes.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, but we'll get a wee bit more of the lore, and we're getting the idea that Victor's some sort of revenant, or what do they call him, a replicant or something? But
a repeater.
A repeater, sorry, yeah. But
I mean, whatever. We'll say replicant. That's fucking cool as shit. I want that crossover. Yeah, no, that's honestly, that's why 2 is my favorite of all the movies, just because it gives the backstory more. You get to see how Victor came into the world. Plus, you get to see Kane Hodder do some actual acting, like outside of makeup, and who doesn't like that?
Yeah, I know it's bad to constantly make Friday the 13th references, but this is a better continuation than Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean,
because this actually makes sense as a storyline.
Well, this is closer to like Friday 5 than it is Friday 2, because isn't it like 4, 5, 6 that essentially is a weekend?
Yeah, it's all it's the same guy getting cheated. He encounters Jason, and he can't leave him alone, so he has to go back and find him, and then they run away. And those movies are painful, actually, in terms of continuity.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't watch slashers for the intellectual stimulus.
No, but it doesn't take much. Like, for example, they've established Victor Crowley is not alive, so straight away, that all makes sense. He hasn't survived the fire. It's a bit like The Grudge. It's a great offense has been done to the world that's created this spirit that can never rest.
Yeah.
So and basically, if you don't go into his territory, you're good. So it's that, he's kind of rest his spirit, and he's carved out his territory. Go no further.
Well, it's like he's part restless spirit, and he's also part curse because of his dad's mom, or not his dad's mom, his dad's wife. Like, she cursed. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? But anyways, she cursed his dad, And that's why all of this shit happened.
Yeah, that was a brilliant scene. In fact, the stuff they've done on this one, outside of Victor Crawley running about, because you don't see Victor to Nick nearly an hour. You see him in the first scene, and then you don't see him for like nearly an hour into this.
I mean, that's the thing with monster movies that people don't seem to understand. It's like the monster is so much scarier when you don't see them as much. Now, of course, this is more of a slasher than a monster movie, so when you do see him, you're going to
Bit of a
get
hybrid.
all of him. Yeah,
I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It's a bit of a hybrid. So we're actually getting a bit of a nuanced plot here. And I don't. Thing is, you've got a lot of veteran horror actors, seasoned, and I think I said to you the first time, and it's like they go together. How would we want to make a movie? What are the bits that we've, and these guys have done the convention circuit and spoke to fans and blah blah blah, and like they're not just dialing it in. These are people invested in the franchise.
Yeah. Well, it's fans getting to do fan work, essentially.
Yeah, they're not just down in a performance. They're actually horror fans, and I think they've sort of got their heads together. Okay, what are the niggly bits that really take us out of a movie? Okay, Victor not making any sense. Gotcha. No clear boundary for the protagonist. They know not to go in here, and then they do. Then it's their fault. It's silly things like that they seem to have tidied up in a cheap, on the surface, a cheap slasher movie, but there's actually some of, like, look at the stuff when they try today to tell stories and they fuck it up.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, not this exact story, but I mean, the whole idea of the Hatchet series, like it's literally been something that Adam Green has had in his head since he was 8 years old. So it's like, if he couldn't get it right, then it's like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah, that's I just get the idea this is a collaborative effort. That everyone's involved in this is on board. They're not trying to. They know this isn't going to like change the world or anything, or like get Oscars. They're making a niche movie, and cool. The fact that we can still put it on, enjoy it, and I mean, me watching it for the first time, I'm like, whoa, this is brilliant. And I think how jaded I am.
Yeah, man. The first line, it's like, oh man, is it going to be one of those episodes? And then I start looking into the rest of the chain or the notes. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
No, like I said, that wasn't even. It just shocked me, and then, like I said, when I thought about it, it's the fact that I've unintentionally become invested in this franchise without realizing the fact that details like that matter, and I've noticed where there's last night I did 976 Evil 2.
Fuck yeah.
The second one?
I've never seen the second one.
Don't.
I don't imagine I would want to.
No.
Well, so did Robert Englund direct that one as well?
No.
No?
Different
Okay.
director.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck then.
Yeah. It just wore the like member berries of the first one, and it was a completely different story and did not make sense. Where this is a Hatchet movie. You're in the universe. It all makes sense. And we've actually got a plot continuation. And from Mary Beth as a point of view character. And yeah, she barely escapes. And yeah. I think Victor did Jack a favor.
Yeah, probably. Like that's somebody that shouldn't have existed.
Yeah, that's like even the gators were moving away from him. I'm not eating that.
Right. He's pickled by consuming nothing but his own piss for decades. So yeah, little funky.
I thought it was moonshine, but yeah.
Nope, that's a joke from the first movie.
Got it. Nah. It's like what a rancid human being. But still not as rancid as New Orleans.
No, man, that's
like you
I
go to
love
New
that
Orleans.
place.
You want to...
I cannot wait to go back, but it is fucking disgusting. Like specifically Bourbon Street, like that whole like the French Quarter, it's fucking gross.
Yeah, I couldn't.
The rest of the town, beautiful, lovely, scary in some parts, but beautiful, beautiful city. But yeah, the French Quarter it just smells like piss, regret, and a lot of cheap booze.
Yeah, I think at that point you just get in that street and then you want to just turn around, go back into the swamp, like wash yourself, wash yourself with Jack's fucking piss. Like it really is. What's the worst of two evils? Because that's well,
so bad.
But of course we meet Reverend Zombie again.
Mm-hmm.
Tony's put on a wee bit of puds there, hasn't he? Even between the first movie and this.
I mean, he's an older gentleman. It happens. We all know how it goes. The older we get, the less we can melt off.
I'm down to 6 chins now. I'm doing well.
A fucking bragger. It's like, this is so I have the illusion of a chin. I don't have one.
But he really gives it everything. Like he's just having fun.
That's the thing. Like Tony Todd, you can definitely say he's been in a lot of bad movies, but he's never given a bad performance. That man is great in everything. Always a little over the top at times, but still sells it.
I think that's part of his character, though, in this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, that's the whole point. He is a theatrical. Like these people all know him, and he still puts the cape and all on and comes in. They're like, right, what do you want?
Yeah, the cape, the fucking music, the whole just the theatrical show. It's great.
Be nice if we could save up for proper size park cages, though.
Yeah.
That's like they're big parts too. Like a flipping macaw in that cage. I'm like, oh, you bastard!
Right.
Hopefully they just get taken off set and they're put into proper homes because.
Oh yeah, I guarantee they live way better than we do. Like that, I'm sure that goes without saying. I mean, they're movie stars.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole idea. Mary Beth wants to go back in, like bury her family. Like, what's the chances of her family even still? Never mind what happens in the plot, but in the swamp, what are the chances of them still being there?
Yeah, right. Especially because it's like, gators aren't hunted there really, so they have nothing to fear. So it's like they find a corpse, they're gonna eat the corpse.
And even just the general stuff that lives in the jungle, nothing, nothing stays too long.
Yeah,
that's the thing jungle instructors would do. Actually, is they take a big dump like in the middle of a hut, and the students will come in and be like, smell it, and when you get used to a smell if you're in a room, and the instructor will give the lecture, and by the end of it, he'll go, right, where's the shit? And it'd be gone.
Fuck.
Because of dung beetles and stuff, just jungle just eats everything. Nothing lies there. So
yeah, except for random skulls.
Even then, it's well,
not in this movie.
Nothing gone. But then we get the whole plot of how Victor came to be, and oh my god,
again, love that shit.
Thomas is a dirtbird.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I've known people that have done pretty much that exact same thing.
Oh yeah,
like you are a terrible, terrible human being. Like, I don't give a fuck how sad and beat up you are. It's like, either leave the fucking person or keep your dick in your pants until they're dead.
Yeah, porn's still a thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, the whole idea is that Thomas and Cheyenne married. She contracted cancer on her way out. We see the decline. And of course, the nurse, Lena, because that's the way nurses operate. I know they've got a reputation, but I think generally when they're on the job, it's just because you need that switch, don't you, to be able to do that sort of shit?
I'd imagine.
Yeah. That'd be a last, it's a bit of a far-fetched story. considering everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If she had been a housekeeper or something, I could get it, but a nurse, I don't, because they're doing that sort of stuff that wouldn't enter their head.
Yeah, well, and also it's like I can't imagine her being a live-in nurse.
Yeah.
But then again, they are in the middle of fucking nowhere, so whatever. Different time. That's what we'll say. It was a different time.
Lena's right in the next room while they're going at it, like not even in the woods or anything. And she's not even cold. Like when she dies, she's not even cold in the grave, and they're about to start like having off right in front of her.
Yeah, they do. They start fucking making out, and she stands up, and that's when she spits the curse on him.
Yeah.
It's like, at least do that in the other room until you bury her. Fuck.
I don't even have a moment of fucking, oh shit, that's isn't, a better regret.
Right.
So they earned the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely earned it. But that's what I'm saying about, other movies try to do this sort of stuff and they do it so ham-fisted. But this actually, is well told.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Crawley's a piece of shit.
Thomas,
Lena is
there
a
we go.
piece of
God
shit.
damn it, I always forget his name is Thomas. But yeah, definitely a piece of shit.
The one you do feel sorry for is Victor, because none of it's his fault.
Well, and that's why he's such a great villain, is because he's just like Frankenstein's monster, in the case that he didn't ask for that. That's just his nature. It's like he's an empathetic character. He's a tragic villain.
Mm-hmm. But he served as Thomas's redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what actually, it was the tragedy of everything that made him, okay, I'm going to focus on what's important and raise my son, which that was cool until Dickhead struck, which was on the first one anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting the fact that, this is all told. So then Reverend Zombie gathers a posse.
Yeah, I love that scene so much. This shit's so funny. And like the great part about all of this, like, everything, pretty much my notes from after the Jack Cracker scene on, it's mostly like knowing other Adam Green properties. And like, if you know Adam Green's work, including like his short films and shit, there's pretty much something in every scene up until they get to the swamp that's going to make you giggle. Like in there, you got the Jack Chop advertisement, which if nobody's watched Jack Chop, look it up on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious. It's probably one of the greatest shorts there is. And it was just a throwaway. Because like they do horror short or Halloween shorts each year. And that was their year where they're like, fuck, we don't got any ideas. Let's just do something stupid. And it turned out to be one of the best things they've done.
Sometimes that's good when you're not trying. It seems to be the problem with people trying too hard now to get the end result and not the actual thing in front of them. Like, imagine if we started trying on this.
I know, it'd be miserable.
It'd be horrible. Imagine having to actually think about stuff before we went on.
Yeah, it's fuck that shit. I don't like thinking before I speak.
That's why ones of people tune in.
Hell yeah.
We're having fun, so fuck it. Yeah, and of course we've got the Jason Voorhees nudge, nudge, wink, wink type thing, which made me giggle for a second. And the fact that Reverend Zombie's cooking up a plan, he's got a plot within a plot. And Cookie Guy, Vernon.
Vernon is the shit.
What is the trope? Do you know that annoying character that you want to die and to string it on for a bit?
You got to have it.
Name? Yeah, but you've got Final Girl and film fucking all that stuff, and is there a name for that trope? We've got the annoying character that you want to get killed, but they drag him on to maybe the last third just to keep your appetite whetted.
I've always just considered it cannon fodder. I don't know if there's an actual term or not for it.
No, because you've got your generic cannon fodder, which we've seen here, and you've got the girl that always has the promiscuous sex. You've got those type of characters, but there's that particular character you want them to get taken out, and they're just gonna drag you along. No, not yet, wait for it. Like,
Right.
oh, another character dies and they survive. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah! I mean, that's how you keep people engaged.
I know what they're doing, and I'm still along for the ride. You know what I mean? It's part of the fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, the best part about that character is what happened outside of the movie. So he, Colton Dunn, he ended up, because like in the swamp, he starts singing a song about chicken and biscuits. Well,
Yeah.
like a year later, it was like a year or two later after the movie came out, he ended up writing a song that was that song, and it's fucking hilarious and great. Like I actually have it as a ringtone. It's that fucking funny. Like definitely look it up.
No, how
It's
about I got
great.
up now? Yeah, that was making me think of Ren and Stimpy. You know, I know a song that'll get on your nerves, get on your
Yeah.
nerves, get on your nerves. Yeah, he's called Cookie Guy. That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's because he spends like 15 minutes going on about fucking. There's a few cookies getting handed out, and he's like going on about them.
Mhm.
And he just went, oh, you know, oh, I hate the got them all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you know he's gonna die, because he's
If I was in
talking
that
with his
universe,
mouth
I'd
full.
be fighting Victor to get at him.
Right.
Like, fucking man, get the fuck. Dear.
Well, it's great too that he gets paired up with the one person that doesn't talk, so he does all the talking ultimately. So
Yeah.
good.
But that's what you know. I mean, it's Trope City. This,
hmm
but that's what I mean. There is a self awareness about this franchise
hmm
of yeah, what do we add to a slasher? Okay, how can we do it well and not lazily?
Yeah.
And that's the impression I'm getting of this. Is like I said, it's made by horror fans that get all the tropes, so they're putting the tropes in. They're telegraphing the fact that these are horror tropes,
hmm
but they're having fun with it, so you don't mind. Like at the same time, I know I'm meant to hate this character, so I'm going along with it, but I don't despise the actor. It's not like an obnoxious actor. He's
hmm
playing a role. So I'm on board with he's a pantomime villain.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Fun's had by all, and that's the impression I'm getting from this sequel. We're here for a good time. But they've managed to tell a bit of a poignant story, and I don't know whether that's intentional or accidental.
It was definitely intentional, because the thing is, like, these movies, they're all just labors of love, because like the budget kept going down with each one.
So when you've no budget, what do? You tell good stories and you have
Yeah,
good
pretty
characters.
much. Yeah, it's like you don't have money, so you might as well make it good.
And just get the right people on board, so it's not having A-listers and all that kind of shit. You know, it's with Tony Todd as an A-lister, because
Well, I mean,
outside of horror,
realistically, like the thing is,
like he's not
every
known.
single person in this pretty much is an A or B lister when it comes to horror. Like that whole meeting, like that's basically like any horror convention. That's everybody that's on the fucking floor. Like, I mean, you had fucking Lloyd Kaufman, R.A. Mihailov, like you have these big fucking names, and then yeah, Tony Todd is talking to him. Like it's just fucking great to see that stuff.
We've got a bit of a predator situation where, like, these experienced hunters just walk in with the rifle on their shoulder, no backpacks, no rations, no spare
Yeah.
ammo.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like they know they're going to be there until the dawn. Like, you got to have some snacks and caffeine, man. Like, at the very minimum.
If I'm going out for an afternoon, I've got my backpack and I've got at least a bottle of water with me and a few bits.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fucking,
no, I go hiking. I
yeah.
have a bunch of fucking snacks and water and shit.
Yeah.
Even though it's only going to be a couple of hours, because fuck, you don't know what's going to happen.
No, so
I'm fat. I need snacks.
Yeah. You could be delayed on the way down or anything else. You know, you just, even a spare jacket and stuff, you know, in case the weather changes. But these guys just bamble on in. It's like, okay. Is that meant to happen? Is that part of the joke?
Right.
Is that playing? You know what I mean? And that's what I'll get with this. Is this intentionally done as part of the trope to show that they're a bunch of morons?
I mean, kind of already states that because they all know the legends because they're all from that area, and yet they're still doing it.
True enough, because all the sensible people went, nah, see it, I'm out. That was a great scene, actually. I like that.
Yeah, like that shit was real. Like as soon as he brought it up, it was like, "No, fuck you."
Yeah, stick your money.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing it did as well with Mary Beth's character is she didn't have the miraculous makeover.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's still scratched up and beaten, and actually still had the graze,
Mm-hmm.
and they kept it in the same spot. You know, why normally they change, like in the older movies, and she even put makeup on, but they managed to even have her with makeup on and did the scratches over the top.
Yeah.
So as if she made up her face while she was still cut because she had got into the shower. And you're like, that's level of detail that you don't see with big budget, like hundreds of millions movies.
Yeah, again, I mean it's a labor of love, so they're doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, but that's
and it would kind of fuck up the movie a little bit if she wasn't, because this is literally the next day.
But how many movies have we seen where it's like a couple of hours later the next day and everything's miraculously healed?
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't even count how many.
You know, and I'm talking about major budget movies
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, they barely even get a bruise in their face. You were saying, what was that one? Wasn't Salt. That was that stupid. That was a stupid movie.
Yeah, I never bothered with that.
No, Atomic Blonde. That was it.
Oh yeah, I didn't bother with that
Where
either.
she gets the literal shit kicked out of her, up and down stairs and all sorts. Not a scratch.
Yeah, just like in real life.
You know what I mean? Has a shower and all the scratches wash off. You know what I mean? And you're like, really?
I mean, that's how that works, I guess.
Yeah. But what I'm just saying, the level of detail and care for a low budget movie of to keep her scars and actually looked as if, you know, she was all bloody, but it's down to us, you know, like a normal scratch if you get bashed up. That's somebody thinking and caring about what to put on screen.
Oh yeah.
And I miss that. That's why I'm so pissed off now and angry and annoyed, because these guys don't have a budget, yet they're able to do that. They're able to think of those things, the things that keep you invested in the. You have to ground the reality before you accept the fantastical. And someone getting their frigging head punched in and scratched and bits, and they're still hurting, look as if they're hurting the next day, but slightly, you know, they've got cleaned up a bit, but they're still bashed up. Get you invested. So when the ridiculous stuff happens, you're okay with it because you know the care. Don't know, man. That's like I said, it's movies like this remind me that this stuff can be done and done well, and it's not a money issue. It's a giving a shit issue.
Pretty much, pretty fucking much.
But yeah, then it goes, like I said, go into the woods, no, no water rations, and what's her first thing? Let's all split up.
Well, no, she was the one that was telling them, no, let's not split up. That's why everybody fucking died last time.
That's okay, I'll be fine.
But of course, everybody else who hasn't survived an encounter with Victor Crowley knows better than her. Like, she survived an encounter and is going back to the fucking swamp, but yet they won't listen to her. And I mean, of course, it's all for the better, because otherwise, we wouldn't have had the movie we had. But yeah, that's another typical trope of like everybody split up, but and then everybody fucking dies.
Once again, I'm on board with it because we know they're not trying to. It's like we were talking about Alien, right? Prometheus and Covenant are supposed to be super smart, intelligent professionals, and they act like dicks. They tell us at the start this is a bunch of muppets, like can barely tie their own shoelaces. Like it's telegraphed, so you know that they're idiots. So you accept the fact that they're idiots. And you know that Mary Beth's not going to get through to them. So you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Because once again, they tell you, they show you the fact that these are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
the fact that we had a bunch of sensible people go, I'm out of here to fuck, you know what I mean? And these are like, and then the big guy's like, oh, I can't do it for 500, you know. And the fact that Tony Todd can get, he knows that he's played these guys before and they keep coming back to him. We know they're stupid. So that's fine. It's all laid out without very much. You don't need a lot of exposition to make it happen for you to be on board. Thing is, I'm like, they're getting annoyed. Oh, all them gators just sitting there. I've grown to love gators, and I've never. Sorry, I have encountered one, but not that close. You know what I mean? I've got within photographing distance. Times over in Florida. But I watch a lot of wildlife channels, and I think gators are amazing. Like,
yeah, no, they're great. They're scary water puppies.
Yeah, that's it. You just don't mess with them, and you're cool.
Yeah, exactly. Don't put your hand in their mouth, and give them their little biscuits, and they'll fuck off on their way. I got to feed a bunch when I went down to New Orleans last, and man, that was great. What was equally as great was feeding the raccoons at the same time.
Yeah, fun time. But yeah, they're like, oh, we can't. They're all sitting here. I was like, yeah, because they know you're not going to be here. They're just sort of looking, going, yeah, you're next. We'll get the leftovers.
Fuck yeah.
What a life.
Yeah, they're not stupid. Minimal effort for maximum output, or whatever. Like getting all the foods.
Yeah. And then it just goes, this movie, like nearly an hour in, and then finally, once it kicks off, that's it. No messing about. And I like that. At second tired of, you see, once again, back to Friday the 13th, Jason's in like every other scene. And it's boring. Halloween, Michael's in every other scene. And that, it loses any of the dread and drama. And that's why they had to go the comedy route, where this is like to keep Victor, like you have to be like encroaching in his territory. Like you've enough chance, and then once you're there, that's it. There's no escape. And it's not like there's loads of tense moments. Like once he's on the rampage, that's it.
Yeah, he's a fucking tank. Like he just goes. I mean, well, I guess he's not quite just a tank, because he does like to build a little bit of terror. Like he plays with his food essentially.
Oh yeah, because we'll see it with the whole scene in the shack where he's actually hiding.
Yeah,
but it's not for long.
And
that's what I like about it. The pace increases and keeps going, and you don't have this stop start judder. You know what I mean? You've all this build up, and then it's go time, and then that's it. You're just on the ride to the very end. I'm cool with that. So, what's clever about this, I think, is that you've got enough. You know the characters, you know all their motivations, you know the game being played, and then when it comes time for the slasher stuff, they just let rip.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there you go. You can be thoughtful. You can actually love the thing you're doing, and it translates on the screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can understand why this is such a loved series. It's just strange that it's not as well known as the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a whole marketing thing. Like, it's acquired by Dark Skies, which is a subsidiary of Stars, which they don't ever do shit with anything. So it's like
I sure look kind of fucked up. Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, that's what happens. So, yeah, it's definitely one of those movies where those in the know knew about it, but it's still, regularly getting discovered by a newer generation. It's just it's great. It just reminds you of the glory days of the 80s. Like it's just a nice traditional slasher.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. Oh yeah. I honestly thought Reverend Zombie was going to survive this. I thought he was going to be like a through character the whole time. Actually, part of me thought he was going to send them into the woods and be waiting on the boat. But, right. Don't spoil.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, no, he's dead. We saw him die. Like,
Yeah.
you don't come back from getting split in half and then your upper body getting decloved. Spoiler, kids, you don't survive that kind of shit. But do we see him in other movies? Maybe. I don't know.
A wee bit of I don't know, flashbacks or something, or yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with this franchise. Like, they don't worry about bringing people back. Like, it's nonchalant. Like, so spoilers, since you haven't seen all of them, Perry Shen, his characters ultimately are the actual final girl. And he is in all 4 movies, and it's hilarious because it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous as time goes on that he's back.
Yeah, because he played the brother this time. That's that French accent.
Yeah, it's I cannot wait for you to see the 3rd one. That's all I'll say.
Do you know what? That's cool. You know, once again, it's self-aware, and they're telling you, and I'm happy with that. You know, that's what I mean. I don't feel like this is insulting me.
Yeah,
I feel like they're a genuine. It's not like I said. You know how bloody jaded I am with a lot of movies, just in general entertainment. But I genuinely feel like they're making something here. Going, we want you to enjoy yourself, and in this, especially in this current climate of non-creation, I'm grateful for it. It's almost a novelty of what you want me to have fun, you want me to enjoy your product. We still might be hurt. Like the good old days of, yeah, we want you to have fun and come back for the next one. Like, we're trying really hard and we'll do our best. But yeah, the 2-for-1 as well with the chainsaw. Like, these kills are brilliant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just like any other slasher where they progressively get more and more batshit crazy as the franchise goes on. And it's like, this is the 2nd one, and it's already at that point where he's killing motherfuckers with 2 motherfuckers with a chainsaw. I mean, of course, we got the gas-powered belt sander in the first movie, but in this one, I felt like it was used way better. And just so ridiculous, but it's so beautiful. Like, I'm going to take the back of this guy's head off, and then I'm going to destroy his brains with this. And it's like, that's art.
Yeah, that's it. I know. But that's what I mean. When they decide to go with the kill, that's it. This becomes the art form. But we've had enough of character development, so it's not on with the action. So it's not like they're stopping and starting every kill and a whole load of exposition. It's like, nah, we're in for the ride now. Go. You've earned it. You've made it this far. Here's our gift to you.
The thing too is, like, there's the perfect balance of it gets to the gore porn part of it, where that's all you want, just all the blood, all the gore, but they're still continuing the story and making it not feel forced. Like, the explanation, of course, we understood from the beginning why Reverend Zombie had certain people there, but it's spelled out for us while the deaths are going on, but it doesn't feel like it's forced or anything.
I don't know. That's what I mean. Just a bit of clever dialogue. That's what winds me up. And you see my reviews when I'm, doing them. The thing that winds me up is clunky dialogue. And just, like I said, it's the pacing.
Takes you out of it.
Everything stops to give a bit of exposition. Where this is flowing, just going, and you're still going along for a ride. And it's not like the movie stopped and become a different movie. It's just reached that point where, the traps are open. We're galloping along the furlongs towards the end, and it's great. As I said, I miss movies that just try to let you have a bit of fun, and they try to entertain you, and they want you to enjoy yourself.
That's all we need. It's entertainment for entertainment.
I probably come across as a snob sometimes in this.
Oh, I know I do sometimes, because I like my pretentious art films, but I also like just dumb, throw your popcorn at a screen type of movies like this.
Yeah,
like, this is one of my favorite franchises.
I wouldn't say this was dumb.
It's intentionally dumb.
Yeah,
but it's not stupid.
Yeah.
Like, the characters are goofy tropes, but that's supposed to be the way they are.
But they're actually written that it's believable. Like, you're not going to have if this had been a special forces unit that turned up in the middle of New Orleans, considering we've already got the scene of the city, and how much of a dingy shithole it is, of course you're going to have friggin' inbred hicks and dumb fucker. You know, who's going to live there apart from those type of people? You're not going to, if you have any sense, you're getting the hell out and going to civilization. Unless you're making loads of money and you're planning to retire at the age of 50 or something, you know, and milk it for all it's worth and then get the hell out, sell your business on to somebody else. You know, that's the only reason you'd stay in New Orleans. In this universe anyway, you know, in that area, because nobody in their right mind would be living there on day-to-day basis unless you had no other choice. But yeah, even when we get Reverend Zombie versus Victor Crowley, I thought it would go like a Freddy versus Jason type thing, and we're going to see Reverend Zombie unleash his powers, but nah, he's just a schmuck, which
which makes sense. It's like he's a fucking charlatan. Of course he's not gonna be able to do shit. I mean, he's a massive presence, but ultimately, like, you got just a regular ass dude going up against a violent, vicious ghost.
Which, once again, you're not seeing ego here of the actors. Like, Tony Todd could be, if he wanted, a pretentious dickhead. Oh no, I couldn't possibly be beaten so easily. I'm, you know, like you see with so many others. Nah. Oh,
I mean, right. I wouldn't really call. I wouldn't call how he went out as being beaten easily. His death. He put up a fucking fight.
He put up a fight, but at the end of the day, it'd be like me trying to fight a rhino. I'm gonna put up a fight, but I'm not winning.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like me getting into the swamps to try and punch gators. I'm not gonna win. On no planet am I coming out alive. Yeah, I might get a good few shots in, but I'm dead. I know that.
Yeah, all you're doing is fucking building up their appetite.
Yeah, and that's all Reverend Zombie was doing. And I just appreciate the fact that when all said and done, he was a charlatan. And when it came to the crunch, he was just as much cannon fodder. And the fact that that's what I mean, the fact that Tony Todd didn't have an ego to play that role, once again, shows love for these are actors that love the genre. And there aren't too many left. You know, I mean, they're a damn breed.
They really are.
You know, I mean, this is the modern version of the Christopher Lees and Peter Cushings of old.
Oh yeah,
and Lee Chaney Jr. You know, they're all guys that loved the genre, and they did their best with every role. This is this generation of actors that love. They're in horror for the love of it. You know that.
Yeah.
It always great, and they're
it's so hard too, because it's like they're all like in their 60s and 70s, and it's just like, fuck, man, we really don't have much more time with them. I mean, hopefully they live to be 1 billion years old,
but
it's like
yeah,
it's like realistically, it's like we don't got much more out of them.
No, but there isn't the new generation coming up to replace them.
Yeah,
and that's sad. You know, I mean, it's not like when was this?
This was 2011.
2011, yeah. So
or no, 2010. Sorry.
Yeah. So this would be like mid 2000s, or sorry, early 2000s, and yeah, it just goes to show it was still possible right at that point to make these type of movies. And you've got people who are well established who could make, what was it, Doug Bradley, when they tried to get him in for one of them last Hellraisers, he would make more money on a convention than what they were offering him, signing stuff. I have a funny feeling these guys are not, you know, even then they're in that position. They can
these movies, like, I don't know the exact numbers of the budgets, but these were literally made out of love.
Yeah,
like, yeah, they
these
do
guys could go for a weekend.
Yeah, they're gonna pull more money doing that than they did from this movie.
So you're not doing it for the fame and the money. You're doing it because you want to make a good movie. And you can see it here, and the fact that they're prepared to, you know, not always be the lead or not be the hero or not be the survivor, and they can trade places, and they're just, you know, they're having fun. That's what I get from this.
Oh yeah,
they're bloody enjoying themselves. The cabin scene, you know, two people are shaking that cabin.
Oh yeah,
and someone's inside with a bucket, you know, throwing buckets around.
Yeah, it's such a simple effect, but it's so fucking
How
effective.
many times? What have they tried to do with CGI now, and it looks shit? And that's just there's probably two of the actors when they're off scene. Right, fuck it, I'll do it. It's my turn with the bucket. I'm throwing this one.
That's the thing, man. Like this movie, they don't fuck around with the blood. There's just so much, and it's so nonsensical that it's beautiful. Like when Victor gets his hatchet stuck in Misty's chest, and he finally gets it loose, and it's just a giant bucket of blood on a tree. It's like, that's not real, and I love it.
Oh god, that scene with her getting
Come on, come on. Oh, so
man, that was why this isn't the mainstream cinemas.
because
that's just yeah, love it.
Oh yeah,
that's the sort of stuff. That's this isn't for normies, by the way. I think I'll watch a horror movie for the first time. Yeah, don't come to this one. You're not gonna.
Or do maybe you'll become cool. Who knows?
Yeah, no, yeah, jump in the deep end. Love it. But yeah, Mary Beth just losing her shit, and you can believe it. She's not a girl boss, but you can just see the anger and pent up frustration, and she's lost her family. This is twice now, and she has done. What have I always said? When the killers land there unconscious, you don't just go and pat them.
No, you fucking make sure they're gone.
So she shoots him in the face, and it's like, that's not enough. Fucking doof, 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 doof.
Well, no, so it's backwards. So she beats the fuck out of him, like takes his hatchet, completely obliterates his face.
And that's right. And then she grabs the shotgun.
And then she walks. Well, the best part is she walks off, and then you get the scene where it kind of slowly zooms out from his face, shows his hand next to the hatchet. It starts twitching, and you're like, "Oh fuck, he's getting back up!" And then that's when she comes back with a shotgun, and one of the greatest endings to a movie ever. Just fucking blast him in the face, and then cut to black. Like that's how you end a fucking movie.
And then it's obviously going to see what happens next. Oh man, this is so much fun.
Yeah,
this has cheered me. Honestly, it's movies, I guess, that keep my faith that it's still possible. I'm just worried that they're not cultivating the next generation.
Well, I mean, fuck, they're not even really cultivating the generation that came up with this shit. Like, all the behind the scenes shit with the Hatchet franchise. It's like they don't even want to do them anymore. Dark Sky wants them, or whoever owns it now, but like the budgets keep getting smaller, the shoot times keep getting shorter, and they just want more. And they're like, no, we're fucking done. We can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like not without something changing.
And it's good to have the fortitude to be like, yeah. And eventually there's going to be a Hatchet skin suit getting worn over some shitty. Someone will mine this. It'll sort of die off. They'll not make any more. They'll wait until few years, and then they'll mine it, and then there'll be a Hatchet reboot, and it'll be shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with a lot of slashers, you can change who acts as the slasher because they've got a mask or something. Most notoriously, fucking Jason. Jason has been played by so many different people. I mean, of course, like people that are super fans of it, you understand who was behind what mask, and you have your favorites or whatever. But with this, it's straight up Kane Hodder. So it's like I really don't know how they're going to successfully change it if the studio opts to actually change it. Because the thing is, he's in his 70s. He's definitely not getting any younger, and that's 40 pounds of fucking silicone on him at all times, and who knows how much longer he's got in that costume.
Yeah, fair play. Because once again, he's got more gumption and stamina than the roided up retards that come into film now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where do you think? Am I just being too pessimistic, or is there a way to get this back? Because the fact that these retards are coming into horror now, and you're seeing the same shit, they're not just they've got the battering ram, and they're fucking at the doors now.
The problem is, it's just like with social media and shit. the fucking dumbest people have the loudest voices, and they're the ones that everybody pays attention to. And the problem is, we're inundated with just big studio releases. So of course that's all we see versus seeing like the independent shit that gets released, pretty regularly. So it is disheartening because it's like, oh, well, this is the direction of horror, but it's like, well, it's not really the direction of horror. Just like, with any underground music scene, it's like you have to do your digging to find the good stuff, because the garbage is always there. The garbage is always going to float at the top of the fucking scum pond, but you dig enough, you're going to find your little haven. And unfortunately, it's just like that separation is becoming greater and greater, it feels like.
Yeah, obviously, folks, if you've got recommendations, keep us in the loop.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Always looking for new shit.
When we get independent creations, we embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll obviously critique it fairly. That's the thing. We're not going to blow smoke up anybody's arse. And I don't think you'd want to. In fact, we've had a number of directors from all sorts just randomly say thank you for the review, and we haven't always been, oh, this is the best thing ever. With critique, but we're always fair.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm not an edgelord trying to, oh, look at me, so edgy, I'm tearing this apart that everybody loves. Fuck that. I just call it how I see it. I'm just so despondent with just the lack of care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm genuinely worried because it's what inspires you. Your imagination is what makes a society move forward. And if people are getting their imagination stunted, we're only going downhill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that, so I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll have to look at it. Yeah,
was that one of the ones that was on Joe Bob? I can't remember, but yeah, I know it's one I haven't seen, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, like I said, there's loads of stuff, but definitely, also those that are out there new, if you know horror directors who want to come on and chat and put us in the way of their movies so that we can check them out, I'm all for it. Like I've done loads of stuff, like straight release to YouTube. People that have, obviously Actor Star, 7th Street, one of them guys. We're not afraid to do it because we want to try and keep horror alive.
Mm-hmm.
And the way is not to just focus on the mainstream shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do, if there's a news article, we'll report on it just to get clicks, to bring more people on the channel. But the people I want to champion are the ones that have this. It's these sort of guys I want to champion that actually make stuff with still love in their heart for their genre and for wanting to entertain you.
Yeah. And like, if nothing else, you can say that about every single Ariscope release. They're all fucking great. And just like this, like where you feel the heart, you can see the care. Most of them were just ridiculous odds while shooting, and it still came out, and it's still, something that I proudly display in my collection.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. That was we started off. We went this way for once.
I know it's nice. It's nice and agreeing too at the same time, which we don't have to. Actually, it's more interesting, I guess, sometimes when we don't. But it's nice.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. This isn't a set. We do what we do. You call it how you see it. I call it how I see it.
Yeah,
we're not a fucking hive mindset. I'm sick of that, and I'm sick of the shit on social media of. Like somebody, a movie I reviewed with Steve, Frankenstein's Army. Somebody made a post about, if you don't like this movie, you is dumb and suck. And it was, you is dumb, DUM +SUK. If you don't like this movie, I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, that's beautiful. You don't even need to respond to that at that point.
Well, obviously, I respond. Look, anytime I see it, I respond with one of the reviews that I've done on the channel. So if somebody mentions a movie and talk about this, I'm going to comment and stick the review on just to get, and they're, oh, Yeah, my brother only managed 5 minutes of the review. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, you're a fucking window licker. If you haven't got that attention span, there's no hope
Right.
for you. That explains everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, yeah, I was looking forward to that movie. It had a great premise, but it was just poorly executed. And I just wanted Frankenstein, Nazi monsters fighting the Russian army and things blowing up. Instead, we got found footage shite, and nothing was utilized. All that work went into the props and the aesthetics, but it was just so badly done that it was wasted.
Yeah.
If it had just made it a movie, it actually would have worked better.
Right.
But
I'm so glad that phase is pretty much dead at this point. I fucking hate found footage.
oh, it's shit.
It's so rare that it actually makes sense.
Sure, even the dickheads from Blair Witch Project, they're trying to cash grab 20 for the 25th anniversary.
They got fucked though, so
But
it is
they've had money
understandable.
since.
No, they haven't. They haven't. That's the thing. They got fucked, and that's why they're coming out right now and saying shit. Like they didn't get anything other than a fucking dick in the ass from all of that.
Sorry.
So
no, they've done this
it's
a couple of times and they've had residuals since.
barely.
But they keep popping up, and instead, at what point? Yeah, you got paid what you got paid. It's shit. But at what point do you move on and do other project? You know what I mean? And
Well,
they haven't
the
done
problem
anything
is,
since it,
so
really.
the problem is, it's just like any other job. Like you should get paid what you're worth, and when you got paid pennies, comparatively speaking, like no, fuck that. Fight the goddamn system if you can. Like you absolutely should, because the thing is, what they're doing is, one, trying to save their ass and get what they deserve, rightfully deserve. But also, if it happens, that's gonna pave way for Hollywood accounting to slowly start coming down a peg, because that's the thing. Like everybody gets fucked except for the people that are essentially worthless. Like they're not creative, they don't
No, the
help in any way,
parasites.
shape, or form.
But
And
25
that's the
years
thing.
later,
They're
you're
trying
still.
they're trying to burn the system, which is something that all of us should want.
What I say about independent creators, people won't put their money hand in their pocket to pay an independent creator, but they'll go down to a coffee shop and pay stupid amounts of money for an overpriced fucking shite.
Mm-hmm.
It's people's fault. They gravitate towards, they want to be cool, what's popular, rather than actually enjoying stuff, and they won't put the effort in to look. Do you know what I mean? It's people's fault as much. I try as much as possible to find independent stuff. And most of the stuff is off, look at freaking, nearly 1,500 videos now. I've covered quite a lot of shit. We've all,
at least a
you know what
couple
I
of
mean?
things.
Yeah, and it's not all just the typical generic mainstream stuff. In fact, most of that's been avoided because it's been done. So there's opportunity there to find new movies, but you got to support them. And also the people making the movies have to make an effort. Like with this, it's not just a money thing. You have to make an effort. You have to have that vision. You have to actually care about making something good, not just shitting something on the screen because you're getting a few wads of cash from a mediocre production company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, you won't get the fame and glory, but play the long game. But I think after 25 years, at some point, have they not moved on as in terms of build a repertoire? Or have they just hung that one movie they made? That's the impression I'm getting from them.
From who specifically?
The guys that made Blair Witch.
Oh, well, no, that's the thing. Like they got blacklisted. Like they all just pretty much had to fuck off because, one, the success was before it even came out. There was the whole, you got a VHS of this, you saw it, there was a build up behind it. Then when people, when it was released, people realized, oh, this is just a fucking movie. This isn't real. And they're getting like literal death threats and shit. So a lot of them just kind of vanished, from basically the public because of, threats on their fucking life. And then to see how much they paid for it and were supposed to get paid for it, and how much it was making, the numbers weren't fucking adding up. So, they rightfully are doing everything they can to get paid what they should be getting paid.
Just seems strange. 25 years later, it just seems to be every anniversary.
Well, that's the thing. That's the egregious part, is the fact that it's 25 years later and they are still trying to get paid for a fucking job that they did.
I don't know. Sometimes you have to, like, for your own mental health, you need to cut your losses. Like, and it seems
I mean, that's thing is, though, somebody owes you a few $1 million. Are you gonna fucking let that go? I wouldn't. I'd fucking go after somebody with a fucking knife and a baseball bat if I had.
Yeah, well, I would do. You know what I mean? I would do that quicker than wasting my time in court arguing. Getting back and forward. I would take that satisfaction and then go to jail with a smile on my face.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's sort of me. I'll talk to you after stream about stuff going on at the moment. You know what I mean? Funny that you mention it. But yeah, sending death threats, I just don't like. You hear I'm hyperbolic in some of the descriptions. Like, I'm happy if a lot of creators, especially the ones it's the ones that gob off, not the people who make bad shit. I'm happy if they fall off a cliff, but I'm not going to send them death threats. I don't give a shit about them.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Best thing to do, just if you don't like something, fucking walk away from it.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem with that too is, like, a lot of people go after either the actors or the directors thinking, oh, well, this person's problematic, so this movie is bullshit. And it's like, you don't understand. Like, that is one teeny tiny piece of a fucking larger puzzle that made this piece of art. Like, because of you hating that one person, you're going to hate hundreds of fucking people that worked on this. It's like, you're fucking stupid.
But the same people death threats, and they actually think about going after, like, fucking get a life.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
That's nothing to do with the movie. That's just your fucking mentally.
Yeah, at that point, kill yourself instead.
Yeah,
I'm a very big advocate of that.
Yeah, if life is so unbearable, you know what I mean, do the natural thing. Yes, life is the great indulgence, death the great abstinence. But if you look and you're absolutely worthless piece of shit, then fucking just do the decent thing. Fuck off.
Right.
But yeah, that side of things I don't get. I don't get the hype around the movie because it's your side of the pond, actually. You know what I mean? It was nowhere else in the world. It was your side of the pond. It was all, like, went mental over it. Everyone else was like, yeah, it was a thing. Oh, it was a gimmick. Cool. Moved on with their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't think twice about it. But yeah, you'd think if they were going to carry on, like, what are they doing with their lives at the moment as well? Like, I'd hate to think they put 25 years on hold over this.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like you can't, you don't. But, I mean, still, it's like someone owes you that much fucking money. That's always going to be a part of you. And always trying to get that is going to be a part of you.
Where actually that would be an incentive to build up your own fan base. And then...
Well, so that's the problem, though. Like, when you're going up against a major studio, like, it's like going up against the mafia. Like, you can try to do something else, but the second they get their scent on you, like, you're fucked. They are going to do everything they can to break you down and make it so you can't fucking work.
Yeah, we've seen it today. You know what I mean? We've seen it today. I think the whole cancel culture thing is part of that. Normal people have come into their sphere. You know why Hollywood's cutthroat anyway, and they'll happily screw each other over. But ordinary people, as commentators, have come into that sphere, and they're getting treated exactly the same as some competitor or rival, or someone needs to be silenced. And it's a lot of people weren't prepared for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've seen stuff before. People just got a following behind them and just carried on applauding, doing their thing, independently. And crowdfunded and everything else. That's been around for over a decade now, that option.
Yeah.
So have they given up making movies completely? Or what? I mean, I don't know the full... It just seems to pop up every time there's this movie gets mentioned.
Well, and I mean, that's practically speaking, it makes sense because, like, there's the hype of it is coming back for whatever reason.
25th
so, of course, that's the best. Well, I'm talking like over the years, like anytime it's popped
up. It's like the 10th anniversary and stuff.
But yeah, so it's like it just makes sense. Like, it's in the cultural zeitgeist again. So why wouldn't you be like, oh yeah, you remember that? Well, you remember us. You remember what's going on. So I understand why it gets brought up at times like this, because that's when it's on everybody's mind. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because you think I don't know. I wouldn't like to think they've just spent 25 years obsessed over this and not moving on with their lives, because I'm sure the fat cats have barely given it a second thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course they don't give a fuck,
there's
especially because of the fact that they change places almost every 2 years. So it's like it's not even the same people that fucked them 25 years ago.
Yeah. There you go. That was a random tangent when we were just getting ready to wrap everything up at a high note, but it's like, yeah, but with all that shit continually happening, it is hard to keep faith.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Just glad we have movies like this. At least the more we can find of them, the better. And like I said, the more we can champion people that don't go into the. If somebody has Hollywood stars in their eyes, just go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just go away. Go to other genres, and we'll support our own. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
There you go. So on a happy note, remember, folks, keep updated with the channel, do the type of clicking things. Until next time, keep it creepy,
keep it horrific.